Hey everyone, good evening, and welcome to tonight's live broadcast. Happy holidays to everyone, wherever you are. There's so many holidays happening. There's so many holidays happening around the world today. So wherever you are, I hope that you've had a fantastic day, relaxing day. And I'm extremely happy to be doing this live broadcast today. Hi Candace, hi Roberta, hi Rachel, welcome. I'm very happy to be doing this broadcast today. So I felt it's a holiday, hi Terry. This is one of those days where, we should keep it light, keep it breezy. As breezy as we can keep it. But definitely I wanted to use this opportunity to answer questions that you may have, and also to answer questions that I commonly get as it relates to business, because I think that this is a time when everyone, hi Tony Tones, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I know that this is a time where business is on the forefront of everybody's mind, whether you are already in business, whether you are contemplating going into business, whether you have been contemplating it before and have been delaying it because of one reason or the other. I know that right now, small business, what you can do to earn additional income if you are employed, or how you can grow and build your business, is something that's on the forefront of your mind. Correct? Those of you who are on with me, yes, that you are getting that sense as well, right? And I think it's because this is the reality. COVID-19 changed a lot of things for us, and I'm not really going to be talking a lot about COVID-19 today unless there's a question relating to it. COVID-19 changed a lot of things for us. And for one thing, those of you who were once in permanent jobs or felt a certain measure of security, there is a level of insecurity that you now feel, because what was once permanent no longer feels as permanent. There are industries that we did not expect to be shaken, being shaken right now. There are things that we didn't expect to happening right now. So whether you're working, for instance, for the government, there is a perception that if you work for the government, your job is secure. But the reality is, this whole situation showed us that, not everything is secure. Therefore, it's important for us to think about, for many of us to think about how we can earn other streams of income. So it means that there are some of you who are not in business right now, full-time in business. There are some of you who have been part-time doing a side hustle, and now you need to pay that side hustle some more attention. And there are those of you who have not been really pursuing the business. It's there as a thought in the back of your mind, but not at the forefront of your mind, not in your immediate plans to pursue. Now you are thinking, I need to do this now. So I want to use this opportunity. If you have any questions as it relates to business, there's no wrong question. There's no type of question that I need you to ask. If you have a question relating to business, I really would love for you to ask your questions. I was checking to see if there it is. And I'm going to pull up questions that are there. So what I did is that I've put some of the questions that I normally get onto my questions section of the stories post that I had. So that's why I put it so you can see the questions more easily. However, if you do have questions, hi Inspired by Rambling, if you do have any questions for me, or if you have any follow-up questions from any of the answers that I've given to you, feel free to ask them in the comments. This is all about you. This entire life, well, it's always all about you. I'm always here to teach and empower and impart, but today is all about you having that opportunity to ask questions, to ask for clarification, anything you want to find out about business, or even about me. If you want to find out anything about me, about my journey in business, or how I got into business, anything along those lines, hi Black Tanika, feel free to do so. So let me get right into the first question. Right, so this question, I got this question sometime this week. I had a call with someone. She is actually in another class with another, not a business coaching class, a separate class that I teach. She's in that class with me, but she also owns her own business. So she has a full-time career. She owns her own business, but she's preparing for the next stage of her life. And, she's thinking about the present business that she's in. It works, it's functional. She gets a lot of income in it, but she's also thinking about the area of her passion. And she was asking me about whether she should pursue that area of her passion, look into that as the avenue for, when she leaves her job, or if she should just stick with where she is at. Hi, Sherelle. So as it relates to this question, I think I use this question because it's something that a lot of people ask me about. We are always torn between passion and, what makes money, or what appears to be making money. And I don't think that it needs to be I don't think that it actually needs to be a choice between the two of them. I do believe that there is a way to find your area of passion and to use that area of passion in business. In fact, if you are planning to be an entrepreneur, my position is that it should be in an area that you are passionate about. It ought to be in an area that you are passionate about. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone's passion does not demonstrate itself by way of an artistic skill, something that you do creatively. Because sometimes when we hear, going into business for your passion or in the area of your passion, that is the kind of thing that comes to your mind. If you think I'm right or wrong, you could always drop a comment. I would love to hear feedback. I think a lot of the times we think about it from a creative perspective only. But the reality is that it's not always that. Not everybody is a creative. Me personally, I don't consider myself to be a creative. I actually consider myself to be an academic. But because I'm passionate about learning, I'm passionate about teaching and making concepts in business universal, right? That is not a creative endeavor for me as much as it is an artistic endeavor. So you would see even in the things that I put out, the content is there, and while the brand aesthetics of my page and my business are very synchronized, you will not see me doing a lot of graphic work in my posting and such if you compare to other persons. There's this guy, he's really excellent, Fuad. He has a lot of graphics and stuff. I am not inclined that way. Therefore, I think that you can find a way to get into business in an area of your passion. So you might be passionate about business. Yes, you might want to go into business, but you may not be someone who has maybe a creative skill to make something. But you might be someone who is interested in opening a business, having a reseller experience and that kind of thing. So you mean that you're buying products and reselling it. Nothing is wrong with that. You would say to me, Dana, well, I don't know if I'm really passionate about the things that I'm buying. Is the grocery owner passionate about selling groceries? May not be. The person may not be passionate about selling groceries. However, their area of passion might be in customer service. So they open the business. That is something that will make money, that there is a need for, that they have the ability to invest in. But they focus their efforts on perhaps customer service, so that while I'm selling these things that people are coming to me for, and I'm selling these commodities to make money, customer service is where I am passionate about. So I'm going to pay a lot of attention in ensuring the customer's experience is a great one, and ensuring that there is a nice ease of access to certain things. So I will spend all of my energy and effort there. So my passion in my business might not be selling groceries, but my passion is customer service. And I'm able to now have a business that taps into both my passion and as well as the ability to make money. And so I believe that your business, when you are becoming an entrepreneur, you really need to find something that you are passionate about, because the entrepreneurial journey is not an easy journey. The entrepreneurial journey is not an easy journey. Therefore, you have to be passionate about what you are doing, because there are times it's going to get hard. What is going to motivate you to move on? But you also have to spend that time figuring out what is your niche, what is the area that you need to focus on. Don't launch into your area of passion not being aware of where you're going to fit into the market. I honestly believe that for most ideas, there is a space. However, not everybody has the ability to find that space. So hopefully that will answer that question. Let me see. Do you believe that one business can generate multiple streams of income? Absolutely. I believe that every business should have multiple streams of income, and that can be demonstrated by selling of products, selling of services, developing programs, advertising, like providing advertising mediums, sponsorships. There are a number of different ways one business can generate multiple streams of income. The key to doing that is to understand the core of your business. Here's why it's difficult for many persons to understand how to do that. Because when you go into business, you think only about what you are actually selling, what you are actually giving. So it's like I'm in business and I think only about I'm a coach, right? Not thinking about exactly what it is I do. What it is I do is that I help small business owners move from frustration to success by simplifying basic business principles that they can apply. So that means that automatically, by changing my perspective on my business, automatically opens up the streams of income that's available to me. So that is why I write books. That is why I have coaching programs. That is why I host events. And they don't all happen at the same time. There are some things that are passive that I don't actively do a lot of promotion in, but they do make me income. So that's like the goal setting book that I've written. Now we have the pricing ebook that's coming out. So those are things that I write once and they become a continual resource for me. Then you have things that I'm actively involved in, like coaching and speaking. And then you have events which are happening every quarter, whenever that happens. So one business has multiple streams, but it means that you have to understand the foundation, the essence. It's like understanding the seed of your business. That seed that you plant. So it's the seed that you plant, and out of it comes this tree with multiple branches. The issue is sometimes we start in business and we don't understand the seed. So therefore, we're unable to grow the tree and to put out those branches. So you have to spend that time getting down to the bedrock of what you are providing. And a lot of that information really will come from research. Because when you have an idea, you have it from one perspective, one experience that triggered it, one situation that triggered it, and you got this idea. But you have to now take the idea to the people that you want to serve so that they can tell you how they want that idea to be fleshed out. As they tell you that, then you are able to really understand the core of what you're providing, the value. You would have heard me talk about value all the time. The value of what you're providing is that seed, and how that value is supplied to different persons according to their needs really is that is your multiple streams and how you build it. So definitely one business can have multiple streams of income. I'm seeing Inspired by Rambling asks, how do I manage family time and business time? By putting first things first. So I'm going to take off this question while I answer your questions. I manage it by putting first things first. At the end of the day, I got into business, and this is like knowing your why, right? Again, it's another thing that you hear a lot on the gram and everywhere else, but it is absolutely true. And for me, it's the core of everything. I got into business so that I would have more time. At that point, I did not have any children. So I needed to understand that. At the point when I left my job, when I started my first business, I was still employed in a 9-to-5, as we call it, job. It was pretty demanding, but in the midst of that, I started my business. Why? Because there was a certain type of family life that I imagined that I wanted at the time when I would have children. And I recognized that my present career path or trajectory, while perhaps financially lucrative, would not have given me quality of life, and it would not have given me that family life that I wanted. So it meant that I needed to start building my business. So that was my why. My why was the children I didn't have yet. Interestingly enough, right? When I did leave my job, I had my daughter a year after. Well, 9 months after. Right? But the thing about it is, you have to know your why. So for me, my why was my family. Therefore, first things first, I make sure that I prioritize the time for things that are meaningful for my family. Now, this is something that every mother, every wife, whatever your family dynamic is, it's something that you have to now figure out for yourself, right? Doesn't mean that I have everything perfect, absolutely not. But what it does mean is that I had to figure out what is quality time for my family. What are the quality activities for my family, and prioritize getting those things, those experiences done. So it means that I have to have the time to go and play in the yard with the children. I have to have the time to do arts and craft with my daughter. I have to have the time to sit down and read books. If I'm doing work as I am right now, everybody's working at home. When my baby comes and say, "Mommy, come look at this," I have to, stop and go and look at it. But I don't see that as cheating myself when it comes to my business. What I'm really doing is trying to put first things first and give everything its time and its space. And I really do believe in the productivity blocks. So right now, how it's working out for me, the first block of the day, well, after I have my time, which kind of going a little bit crazy these days, I'll be honest. But so normally it would be like the prayer exercise time in the morning, but because I'm doing a lot more work at night, I'm hoping that this is not too transparent, right? But because I do a lot of work now at night, especially when I was writing the book, and I'm still doing some final edits on that, I'm not doing the mornings the exact same way, but I have the first block of time for homeschool and activities with the children, making sure my family is kind of set up if I have to cook and all of those things. And then because my husband is home, we try to work out a schedule where I do the children's duties in the morning with the homeschool and stuff, and then he takes over in the afternoon. And then we go out together and trying to do the yard play thing. And for all the parents, this is just an aside, but if you're a parent and you are in business, take my advice. Having a firm bedtime helps. Having a firm bedtime helps. But so just to answer your question, how I balance and I manage family time and business time is adding structure to my day, understanding where my priorities lie, and giving priority to those things that are most important. I honestly don't believe that pursuit of my business should come at the cost of my family. And therefore, if I need to pull back and put them as priority, I will definitely do that. Adjust, take time off, and then come back to work and find a new balance and a rhythm. So when we went into quarantine, I had to spend some time, those first few weeks, kind of recalibrating what the rhythm looks like. But what is important for you to note is that sometimes we say, we have, as mothers, as wives, as fathers, whatever you are doing in your family, there's always a long list of things to do. Find those things that are the quality things, that are the meaningful experiences in your family, and focus on those things. You see, the list of things will always have to get done, but put emphasis on the quality things and then fit the other list of things in there as is necessary. So you focus on the quality things as it relates to your family life. Focus on the quality things as it relates to your current business goals. And the other duties, you fit in those tasks into your day as time permits in accordance with priority. It's important to note when you are looking for a harmony in your day that while everything is important, not everything is urgent. So you need to figure out what's important and urgent, put those first, and then filter in the rest of those things. I'm hoping that answers your question. You can let me know. I'm hoping it wasn't too transparent either. Candace, in building my business, I don't have the startup capital for resources. Should I get a part-time job to get the funds to fund the business and support myself? So when it comes to that, there is always something in your hand that you can work with. So you need to look and see what's in your hand that you can actually work with to generate an income. I think we diminish the things that we have in our hand. You also sometimes need to look at what are the things you've been giving away for free. So part-time jobs are great. Look at how you can manage your part-time job and get, you're building your business done, or look at what other tools are in your hand that you can actually use to build your business. I want to give an example of a client of mine. There's a particular type of business that she wanted to build, but of course capital and all of that was an issue, and she has now been doing a different type of business as a means, because it's something she's passionate about, as a means of getting income to continue to grow that other business. So sometimes it's about getting the part-time job, yes, but never losing focus of what you are trying to build and putting priority on that. But also, sometimes your ability to earn an additional income can be found right in the thing that you presently have in your hand that you can use, that you might be giving away for free, which is a common thing that we do, or that you might be diminishing its worth when it's actually valuable. So that is something that you can consider when you want to have a dump of income. There are things that you can do in business, like hosting events. Now it's virtual, so there are benefits to that as well. If you've never hosted a virtual event, there are benefits to that, and you can actually do that as a means of earning income and tapping into your area of expertise. And also, you can look at alternatives. Sometimes we think, I need to have this amount of money in order to start my business. But if you really look at it, you might be able to start with what you have, or start with a much lower figure, and then build your way up. I don't know if that answered your question, Candice. Okay, let me see if I can. Sorry, I'm trying to see the other questions. What am I doing? Okay. Platonica, what is a good method to gain more Instagram followers without paying for promotions? What I have learned about Instagram is that you need to engage. But I am not an advocate of spending whole day and whole night on Instagram talking on comments. I'm sorry. And again, I can't be an advocate of that, right? Because I do have a family. I do have, as I just told you, I'm teaching another class. I'm writing books. I can't be on all day and all night. However, in order to have greater levels of visibility, one, you need to engage in other person's posts. Also, you need to think about exactly who it is you are trying to engage with. It's not just about getting followers. It's about getting quality followers. I am not so much bothered. Like, if you look at my page has maybe 820 followers. I just got to 800. And for many persons, I'll be like, oh, that's such a low number, da 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 da. But I have 800 quality followers, right? People who are mostly within my target audience, mostly with whom I want to engage and provide value to. They are people who are on my page building up what I am calling a community, right? So it's not just about getting the large numbers, it's about getting getting the people that you really want to get. Once you are able to do that, the next thing you need to do is find ways to engage with them. You have to find ways to connect with them. And this kind of ties in, so I'm going to just pop up this question here that somebody had asked me, and I think I'm going to answer the both at the same time, right? So it's not about just having numbers, but it's about having quality persons and also engaging with them. I've had this question, I'm posting, but no one is buying. What am I doing wrong? Sometimes on your Instagram, again, because you have an idea, you probably would have seen everybody talk about writing down your ideal client profile and all of those good things. Again, nothing is wrong with that advice, but sometimes the next steps are unclear. You write down what your ideal client's profile. Hi, Masha, welcome. You write down all the things about their lifestyle and such, right? But you've never actually taken the time to actually talk with them or do some research to find out exactly what their thoughts and sentiments are about the particular issue that you have identified that you are now going to solve with your product or your service. So what you end up doing when you're writing your captions and you're putting out your posts and all of those things, what you end up doing is speaking your language and not theirs. So therefore, when they engage with your post, somehow it doesn't resonate with them. So doing some research to find out what their real problems are will give you information that you need to now use in your posting. So do some research about your clients. Talk to them, find out what their issues are, so that your content really comes out of their own experiences, and you are better able to connect with them. The next thing you should do is engage. Now, my strategy I'm going to share with you is set a time of your day, a certain period of time that you will go on. You will engage with pages that your clients are at, or your clients will follow, and therefore you don't have to spend all day, but you just spend a certain period of time engaging and commenting, and once people responded, then you respond as well. So if you don't have a lot of comments going on your page right now, definitely look at pages that other pages that your ideal clients may be at, and therefore give yourself some visibility by engaging and posts on that page. And it's not just about being selfish. Really add valuable responses. Don't just go and say, well, hi. Go and have valuable responses, right? The third thing you need to do is work on your hashtag strategy. On IG, hashtags really do make a big difference. But I am not going to lie to you and tell you that you are going to hit the holy grail of your mixture of hashtags in 2 seconds. It took me quite a number of months, maybe almost a year, to find appropriate hashtags that are a balance of popular and unique, that allows my post to have a certain measure of visibility. So those are my 3 tips. I think it was 3 tips I gave you. I gave you a lot of tips. Those are the tips I will give you as it relates to engaging on Instagram and increasing your Instagram followers. Understand though that following is not everything. Understand though that there has to be a value that's coming out of the time that you are spending on Instagram. So stop doing everything for the gram and looking gram rich and pocket poor. We don't want to do that. We want to ensure that there is a balance of it all, right? And we are very intentional about our engagement, and you get quality people coming into your community, the people that you can serve, because it's always about service, right? So people that you can serve and can benefit from what you have to offer. That is my position. That has worked for me. I am growing slowly, but I am growing such wonderful quality people like you all here, like such wonderful quality people that it really does motivate me. So now coming on Instagram is not a chore, but actually it's a delight, because I know that I'm able to add value. Some of you have become one-on-one clients. Some of you are buying books. But at the end of the day, genuinely that I'm here to serve you, right? And we are building genuine relationships. And this really drives for me that it is a possibility to create genuine relationships. And the final thing that I want to tell you on that Instagram thing is be consistent in your posting. Sometimes we think I post enough, people see it. You have to remember that there is a flow. When you are on your Instagram, when you are on your feed, you kind of just scroll past, and sometimes people miss things. Sometimes things don't show up for persons. So just be consistent, engage, and manage it. It does not have to take over your life for you to be effective. I hope that I answered your question. So that also goes to this question that's in the question bar, right? I'm posting constantly but not speaking to the right people, or not speaking their language, that they can't hear themselves, they can't recognize the problem, they can't recognize the connection. That can be the issue. So sometimes you need to stop and ask questions so that you can actually serve people the right way. And sometimes it's not just about throwing the product at them, like buy this, buy that. I mean, you all know that I am clearly selling, right? This week I'm selling my ebook, but it's not every day that I'm going to come at you and say buy the ebook, pre-order the ebook. I'm explaining to you why the ebook is a useful tool for you. I'm giving you the information. I'm showing you how it connects with what you are experiencing right now. Ultimately, it's your decision. But you always want to try and really understand what it is people are experiencing so that you can actually help them, right? So welcome to those of you who have joined. This is just a Q&A live, easy breezy, simple. Hi Nikki, I'm so happy you're here. So if you have any questions about business, any questions about me and business, anything you wondered about, feel free to ask me. Let me pop up another question here. This is a big one. I get this all the time. And I think because people see me showing up on camera a lot, like I do this weekly and I do videos, and those kind of things. So because of that, everybody asks me, you do this live thing so easily, you do this video thing so easily. So you have to know your thing, right? I will say that every business owner should at least show up a video at least once every fortnight if you can, or at least once a month if you're now starting off. And that is because social media platforms favor video, right? As it relates to, like, for me and video, what I learned about myself is because I'm a teacher, I think I translate so much better via video than captions. Not that I'm going to do a video every moment. Hi Lori. If you all saw my story with my baby boy, Lori did the newborn photo shoot. Lori is fabulous. Fabulous. I can't wait to do another photo shoot with Lori. Right? So the thing is, I know my strengths. I'm a speaker. I'm accustomed speaking. Speaking is one of my gifts. And I realize that I translate much better. Well, to me, I translate much better on video. And the other thing is because communication is 85% nonverbal, so it allows you. Same here, Lori. I can't wait to see you too. Video allows you to communicate some things that words alone will not do. Because words now relies on the imaginations of the person reading it to actually be able to make that connection, whereas seeing my facial expression, seeing the several gestures that I use my hands for, and all of the expression that goes on in my eyes and everything, and hearing the intonation communicates several other things to you. So there is always a benefit to going on video. If you are an introvert, if you are, it's not your wheelhouse, you're not accustomed in that public speaking space, I'm going to say to you what I say to my clients and anybody else who asks me things like this: you are going to have to do it afraid. And your first video is probably going to suck. But you know something about that sucky video is that the information in it will resonate with somebody and it will have the impact that's required. Let me give an example, right? The first time I went live on Facebook. True story. Now, I've been in business for a few years. I went live on Facebook. We're in 2020. I went live on Facebook in 2018. First time I've ever did a live, right? So I had everything sorted out. I had everything fixed. Now, this is my story. It's not everybody else's story. I was the kind of person who would be very happy to stand up in a room of 300 people and speak to them and be good. And the thought of just going onto the internet of the imaginary faces that will be looking at this live was like, I don't know how I feel about this, right? And and I'm telling you, I'm somebody who I've been talking and singing on stage for years. So it wasn't like going in front of a stage was strange for me, but going in front of this little thing here was another issue. Anyway, I did it. I got myself sorted and set up, had my laptop, had everything sorted out. I test run everything, like I test run a video kind of situation, recorded to see if how the content translated and stuff like that. I sent it to my coach at that point in time. And I had done the first recording in the daytime. And then I was ready to do the live and it was the nighttime. ready to go live, and realized, one, my laptop camera was really crappy. Like, oh my God, I didn't realize how bad it was until like 2 minutes before the live. Realized that, oh, nighttime lighting and daytime lighting, not the same thing. So, and I'm very, I think I have the live broadcast on my YouTube channel. If I have it, I will share a clip in my stories, right? So your girl is there. Everybody's waiting for you to come on live because you announced to the world you're coming on live at 7 p.m. Light bad, picture grainy. What was the point of putting on makeup? Because if nobody could see it. It was like aesthetically, when I'm looking at that live now compared to these lives, it looked completely different, right? But here's the thing. The content was solid and it was impactful for a lot of people. And I'm sharing that story because I know a lot of you are looking now. I have fancy dancy ring light and hot and on and popping camera situations going on all around. I didn't have that before, right? So sometimes you start off and it looks a little fuzzy and it looks a little crappy, but you start. And the more you do it, I promise you, the next time I went live, I knew, man, to get a little lamp behind there, make sure the lighting situation situated, you know. I got a webcam because, you know, we wasn't coming back up with this grainy pixelation situation. And that's what I did. But the thing about it is, where I started and where I am now is completely different. Now, I look forward to coming and speaking to the invisible people, but that I now know. Because some of you, we talk here on the live all the time, but I've never met you in person. I've never seen you in for real, you know, but we're here. So what I'm saying is, show up on camera even if you're afraid. Good tip for showing up on camera: have your notes, pretend like you're talking to someone until you no longer have to pretend that you're talking to someone. If you're going live, know that live broadcasts are something that you build over time. So if you go live and nobody comes on, that's fine, still go live. But your business will only do better from you going online and going on camera and sharing what you do and who you serve. It will only get better from doing that. Don't be wild about it. I'm sorry, for those of you who are not from Trinidad. When I say don't be wild about it, I mean don't be crazy about it, right? Don't just go on being random. Go on and be able to share, at least share your story, share why you've gotten into business. When you know, there is a time, I think I have a video on my IGTV, you can go check it out, that people will buy from who they know, like, and trust. Your ability, your intention in showing up on camera is going to help you to grow your business and to grow your following. Any questions on that one? I hope you all enjoyed my little story. So for those of you all who think that it's all perfect all the time, no, it's not. Everybody has a start somewhere, right? And therefore, you know, you need to. That's my husband. My husband really helped me out after that first live situation. He was my savior. He hooked me up. But, you know, it's a process, it's a journey, but you have to start. And you know what? You're going to have to start afraid. Let me see, Terry, you asked a question earlier. Let me see if I get it. How often should entrepreneurs do giveaway on their social, and how effective are giveaways? You have to have a clear objective with a giveaway. I see a lot of people doing giveaways to gain followers. Yes, that's a strategy. But I have questions about how effective a strategy it is. Simply because you're going to get followers on your page, but your followers might not really be the people you need on your page. It might not be your clients. So you get your numbers up, right? And then what? How are you going to transition them from just following for a prize and not winning and then unfollowing to actually being somebody who is active on your page, somebody that you can engage with, somebody that connects with and resonates with your story? So I think that if you are doing giveaways, if you are doing competitions, it has to be a clearly thought out part of a strategy, of a process. You have to be clear about what the end game is. Your end game cannot be new followers only. I'm going to say that again because I see everybody doing it. I have done it. And that is actually when I did a giveaway once, and I've never done it again. I did a giveaway once because I recognized that the intent of it cannot just be to get new followers. It can't be that. I have to have a plan about how am I going to engage with those followers after they follow my page for the competition. So if I have the competition or if I have a giveaway and I have new followers, what am I doing with them? How am I engaging with them after? They don't, sometimes we feel very puffed up by large numbers coming to follow your pages. But if that is not translating into something for your business, if it's not translating into a clear target for your business or is connected to a clear target for your business, then what is the point? Right? My thought as it relates to giveaways and stuff, I would use, if I have a product-based business, I would use my giveaways as maybe a point of sponsorship for an event. What that does for me is that it now gives me visibility in front of an audience that meets the criteria of my ideal client. So you are the rap chick, Terry. It means that instead of perhaps doing a competition on your page for somebody to win a rap or a bonnet or something like that, maybe look for a woman's empowerment event and offer a wrap or something as a sponsored prize. So then you become visible to the people who are meeting the criteria of your ideal client, and then they are probably the ones that are likely to come follow your page on their own, not because of for a competition, and therefore engage after. What about other businesses asking for products and services to use as giveaways? Again, you have to know how that fits into your business. It's fine if other companies, I go to companies when I had live events to be sponsored, but you also have to determine, they are probably going to come to you, and sometimes if you're in business, right, sometimes you ask somebody to be a sponsor for an event, you don't really offer them anything. If they don't offer you something, then you ask, if you would like me to sponsor this, can I get X, Y, and Z, right? You have to make sure that there is a cost, there's a balance between the opportunity and the cost. So how much is it costing you by giving away this? And what are you asking for that can help you to perhaps treat that as an investment that will yield something for you? I think one of the things about small business owners is that sometimes you forget that you have to understand that you have the ability to negotiate. Now, if you are that person, we have a fight and flight instinct. There are some of us who have the fight and we are probably more likely to negotiate faster. And then there are some of us who have flight and we're not going to ask any questions. Do you want to know about me? If you want to know about me, if you want to know what my instinct is, write in the comments and I'll tell you, right? So, but whether you have a natural ask questions instinct or maybe you just wait to see what happens and what they offer, whatever your normal position is, it's important for you to know how to negotiate and ask for what you want. So if a business approaches you to be a sponsor for something, then you now need to be able to say what it is you actually want from that arrangement. It's never like I'm powerless to ask a question. You should always be willing to negotiate what it is you want out of the arrangement so that it's beneficial to your business as well. And there are instances as well, depending on if it's like a philanthropic thing, that you might just want to give it and not ask for anything because it's just your way of giving. That's okay as well. Whatever it is, you have to be certain of what your goal is, what your intention is, and what you want to happen out of it. Right, so this last question, I recently got a few of these. COVID-19 has brought my business to a complete stop. What should I do? You need to revisit your business. you need to look at how your business is functioning. You need to look at what is this COVID-19 situation telling you about how you've been running your business, how your business model is designed. It comes down to your model, because your model speaks to what is the value you provide and what are the ways that you deliver that value. If you've only been delivering value one way, and that way was tangible only, like physical contact only, you only had capabilities to be paid by cash, as in physical dollars, as opposed to online, what COVID-19 is telling you is that you need to revisit your business. You need to revisit your pillars in your business, and you all know what the pillars are. You need to revisit concept, your creation, your concreteness, and your communication, so that you can have a stronger business thereafter. Because the reality is, COVID-19 has given you a blessing, so that you can now build more solid streams of income in your business because you understand its value, so that you can now put proper systems and structures in your business. Now that the business is gone and you see where you are at, you can now put proper systems and structures in your business, and you can actually now reframe it in a way that it can survive in a post-COVID reality. This is the thing. There are two things that I believe about COVID-19. I believe that small businesses will be the means through which the economy at some point will regain itself. Because where people lose jobs, people are going to start businesses. So I believe that the small businesses, and this is not new, right? This is like an economic principle that we know that small businesses drive the majority of the world's global economy. This is a fact. This is research. This is quantitative study, right? We know this. However, in this reality, where there's recession, where big businesses have been taking hits, this reality, a secondary fact is that the revitalization of economies even more strongly relies on the small business. Therefore, for you to survive in a post-COVID reality, you have to rethink the way that you do things. You have to rethink how you give value to persons. You can no longer just be a hairdresser and say, well, I'm doing hair. If you can never come back face to face with somebody to do hair, or because of social distancing rules, you cannot take the volume of people that you were taking before, what is your alternative? And this is where you need to understand your value. You need to understand the value that you are bringing. So in this post-COVID reality, things that you were taking for granted before, you cannot take for granted and just, live like that any longer and think that your business is going to survive. This reality is going to favor a certain level of preparedness, knowledge of what you are bringing, so that you can now make more meaningful contacts and have greater impact. So that's my thought about COVID. So if you are at a stop, I understand the depression that you may be feeling. I understand the confusion that you are feeling. But now is the opportunity to make the investments that you need to make so that you can come out with a stronger business model that allows you to grow and to thrive. Right? So I know it can be frustrating and scary. I'm not in any way diminishing that. I understand that, but this is my position when it comes to things like these and hard situations, because I've been through a few. After I cry and scream and get frustrated and all of that, I ask myself one question. Do I sit here and die, or do I get up and do something? And getting up and do something is really the only alternative, because whether you choose not to do anything or not, you're still moving in some direction. So I choose to decide my direction and go there, like fight against the current if I need to and go there, right? So that is the answer to that question, and I hope that it gives you all some encouragement. It does not mean if business has come to a halt, it does not mean that your business is not viable. It really just means that you need to find a way to rethink it. So do we have any more questions? I want to make sure that I'm not missing any questions. So this was a nice, easy live broadcast. I'm hoping that I really pray that provided some value for you. Give you some insights into me. And really what you all got is nice, unscripted flow from Dana answers. And you would see that it's really just, I really do believe in what I speak about continually. I really do believe in small businesses, and I really believe what I am supposed to do, which is help build profitable small businesses, help regular people, because I'm a regular one too, to build strong small businesses that can create and earn the big business bucks. And I'm committed to helping each of you do that, to establish yourself, to establish your niche, that even in a crowded market space, you can find your spot where you deliver value consistently, not just to those who are presently in that spot, but to those who will come into that spot thereafter, and therefore build legacy businesses. Because for me, I am building a legacy business, one that not only benefits me and benefits this generation, but also benefits my family and generations to come. So I'm hoping that I can empower and encourage you to do the same. I see you, Marsha. Thank you so much. And thank you, Black Tanika. I need to get into your DMs and find out your name. So thank you again so much for joining me. Again, I just want to remind you that my ebook is on pre-order right now. If you are in Trinidad and you do not have like PayPal facility, there is facility for you to purchase the ebook via direct deposit. So you can always send me a DM so that you could do that. This week I'm going to give some behind the scenes for the book, show you all what it entails. But as you are live now, I'll let you know. It starts off with an introduction where I'm explaining to you the fundamentals of pricing, and then we get right into the work. So there's a section for those pricing for people who manufacture products, pricing for persons who resell products, pricing for persons, yeah, put it in my mailbox. Pricing for persons who pricing for, gosh, I got distracted there. Pricing for persons who provide services, pricing for persons who provide programs. And it really is a step-by-step guide. So in each segment, it's actually going to be, it's really like I'm coaching you through your pricing in the book. And the beauty of it is that you can reuse it over and over again in your business. So thank you for those of you who have ordered already. I encourage those of you who have not ordered to do so. I really am investing a lot of time and energy into this resource because I really want it to be meaningful to you. So have an amazing evening. Thank you, Nicholas, for your endorsement. Nicholas is my husband. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Terry Ann. Thank you, everyone, for joining into this live. And I will see you again next week, Monday. Have a great evening. Have a great week. Be purposeful and intentional. Bye-bye.